Ruger SR1911 Lightweight is an addition to the Ruger SR1911 family that began in the year 2011, the 100th year anniversary of the 1911, with the Ruger SR1911 full-size model. Shortly, Commander-style and Officer-style models were released, as was the Lightweight Commander-style. While many folks, like myself, are most receptive to the 1911 platform, many find the 1911 too large and too heavy to carry in its full-size glory. Even though today's 1911-based pistols have all the bells and whistles one would need. A lightweight full-size model was eventually added to the SR1911. I don't know when it was added, but I do know that one was added, because my blurry and nearsighted eyes are looking at it. While the SR1911 lightweight model does not reduce the size of the full-size model, the weight is reduced to the point where not only carrying a 1911 is comforting, it is also comfortable. It's the Range Ronin, and I have a Ruger SR1911 Lightweight to review that I really want to tell you all about. So, stick with me for this journey as I take you through the specifications, features, maintenance, the first day at the range, carry and concealment, and my final thoughts. Having, in the past, received Ruger SR1911 firearms in a cardboard box, I was pleasantly surprised with a very nice hard, Ruger rugged, dual lockable plastic case that the SR1911 Lightweight came in. Within the case, the SR1911 Lightweight was contained in a plastic bag tucked within a hard plastic removable inner liner with the rest of the goodies: 2 spare magazines, bushing wrench, cable lock, instruction manual with scads of supporting documentation, and, of course, a chamber flag. With the SR1911 Lightweight free of its containment, let's get to the features. Coming in at 7.9 ounces lighter than the full-size stainless steel SR1911, the SR1911 Lightweight is a two-tone model with a satin finish stainless steel slide sitting atop a black hard anodized aluminum frame. This is not something new, as the Ruger SR1911 Lightweight Commander style is of the same two-tone scheme and shares many of the same traits as the full-size Lightweight. The Lightweight, as I will refer to it, also includes something that was introduced with the SR1911 Lightweight Commander style, an integrated polished titanium feed ramp that has proved to be highly successful in its integrity. I can attest to that, because after shooting and carrying my SR1911 Lightweight Commander style, the titanium feed ramp insert is no longer even thought about as a potential source of problems. The Lightweight follows with the classic original 1911 fire control system, the 70 series. While there is nothing unsafe regarding the 70 series, except for inexperienced folks operating them or incorrect gun handling, the 80 series was created by adding to the series 1970 half-cock notch in the hammer with a firing pin block that could only be moved out of the way by pressing the trigger fully to the rear. Folks say that the 70 series trigger is better than the 80 series, but I have 1911 pistols with both, and they work just fine. Then again, I don't tune 1911 triggers. Gunsmiths who do action tuning somewhat agree that the 70 series trigger is easier to tune and more responsive when tuned. I'll talk about the trigger in a bit. Slide to frame fit and smooth slide travel? You can thank precision CNC controlled machining processes for them. Positive barrel lockup, due to the slide and barrel bushing made from the same stock, provides the operator the feeling that the pistol is yet another Ruger rugged firearm. The 5-inch barrel exhibits a 1 in 16 right-hand twist that, incidentally, is the same twist rate as the SR1911 10mm version. The guide rod is of the short standard type, with the guide rod bushing being of the same standard type. Sights are no-back 3-white dot sights, are drift adjustable for windage with no provision for elevation provided, and seem to be suitably regulated for 230 grain ammunition. A touch of green fluorescent paint was added to the front sight for contrast. The Lightweight follows the traditional design with replaceable grip panels and checkered flat backstrap. More on that later. A lightweight aluminum skeletonized trigger provides a very crisp, no creep, light trigger with a quick positive reset. Trigger pull weight with this example is 2 pounds 9.9 ounces. There is an over-travel screw in the trigger, but I have found that no over-travel adjustment was needed. The hammer is of the now popular skeletonized type, that when it falls against a titanium firing pin, which is surrounded by a heavy firing pin spring that provides faster lock times and helps to prevent accidental firing if the pistol is dropped. An oversized beaver tail grip safety provides positive function and reliability, aside from keeping my hands from getting hammer or slide bite when I take a high hold on the handle. An extended thumb safety and slide stop lever makes for improved positive manipulation. Thumb safety lever is left side only, as John Moses Browning intended it to be with the original design. One feature that I absolutely do like is that the plunger tube is not staked. It is integral to the frame. Gone are the concerns of the plunger tube flying off the pistol, and springs and things going to the Twilight Zone or Bermuda Triangle area of the workshop. An oversized ejection port provides the opening to rid the pistol of expended shell casings that are extracted by the internal extractor and rid of by the internal ejector, both of which ensures expended shell casings are removed from the chamber and flung far from the pistol. The barrel's chamber not only designates the caliber, but also has an inspection port that allows for visual confirmation of a loaded or empty chamber. The color-keyed magazine button is extended with enough texture to keep the thumb happy. Like the thumb safety and slide stop levers, the magazine button is left side only. The Lightweight comes with one 8-round stainless steel magazine and one 7-round stainless steel magazine, but magazines from Wilson Combat and others will feel right at home. Now, let me get back to the grip panels and mainspring housing. The grip panels are VZ grips with a commonly themed gray-black color and somewhat mild texture. While they look fine, feel fine, and are fine, I yearn for something finer, and which could do justice to the theme of the pistol. The stock grip panels were changed out to a set of Altamont finger groove silver-black crockback grip panels that, in my humble opinion, not only accent the pistol, but also provides me with my favorite finger grooves that fill my hand, are textured in all the right places, provide a better gripping surface for the fingers over the plain front strap, and blend well with the next update. An Ed Brown arched rated mainspring housing with magwell extension replaced the flat checkered mainspring housing. I prefer the arched mainspring housing, introduced with the M1911A1 in 1924, as my hand conforms to the grip better than the flat mainspring housing. All frame controls are color keyed to the frame, with the exception of the trigger. As mentioned, the sights contrast against the satin finish of the slide, whereas the hammer is also two-toned. Let me touch on the pistol's markings before I move on to another segment. Left slide marking consists of a nice Ruger Made in USA billboard, with the right side slide marking being only of the Ruger logo. Frame markings consist of the source of manufacturing, the serial number, and model number, although lightweight is not indicated. A safety statement is roll marked on the bottom of the frame just forward of the trigger guard. At least Ruger placed it in an area rarely looked at. Overall, the look and feel of the lightweight is pure 1911. If you have not held a 1911, and after getting used to one after you do, you may find that it becomes a natural pointer with its grip angle. The higher a hold on that grip, the more natural feeling it becomes. The 1911, in my humble opinion, was and still is an excellently designed pistol that was and is intended for personal defense. Part of my process for virtually everything that I do is an evaluation. I evaluate the planning, the design, the development, the implementation, and the final product. Sometimes, and because of my evaluation, things need to change. Looking and handling the SR1911 Lightweight with the wraparound finger groove grip was just not getting it. While gripping of the pistol was great, the grips were throwing off the look of the pistol, and they did not blend in as well as I had hoped with the magazine well extension, aside from the fact that they add a bit of bulk to the grip. While scavenging through the grip box, I ran across a set of faux stag grip panels. Guess where they ended up? Yep, you guessed it. These grip panels, while imitation stag grips, add a bit of flavor to the pistol, blend better with the magazine well extension, and the overall look of the pistol is more, well, balanced. While the color of the grips add contrast to the look of the pistol, the dark color of the texture helps them to blend in with the grip frame. The texture is such that a good gripping surface for the shooting and support hand is positive, and just where I need it. These grip panels will remain, at least until I make another evaluation. Let me know what you think in the comments section. Sometimes I am just not satisfied with a grip change on my 1911s. The Ruger SR1911 Lightweight was no exception. First, there was the upgrade from the standard grip to the Ultimate finger groove silver black crockback grip panels that, while I liked them, did not fit with the upgrade to an arched mainspring housing with magwell extension. The second upgrade was to a set of faux stag grip panels. While they looked and felt great, and were cut for the magwell extension, they just did not do anything to provide the look that I wanted to convey with this pistol. Further research began. Returning to the Ultimate Grip Company one more time, I found a set of 1911 Government Classic Panel Silver Black Rising Eagle 1/2 checkered grip panels, cut for the magwell extension. The fit and finish are perfect, with the grip panels now blending better with the black anodized aluminum frame and magwell extension. The Rising Eagle embodies the spirit of the Tyrol Eagle used for the Ruger logo. The grip screws were changed to Hogue flat black torque screws to better blend with the grip panels over the stock grip screws. The former grip panels will be used on another 1911 at some point, maybe on one that I don't even own yet. We'll see. Let me know what you think about the latest grip panel change in the comment section. Not all 1911 pistols are disassembled or reassembled in the same manner. Some have standard guide rods, as this one does, and some have full-length guide rods that can require a special tool, while others have a full-length guide rod that are two-piece and require an Allen wrench, while some do not need any tools except a bushing wrench. The Ruger SR1911 Lightweight field strips and reassembles like any standard 1911 base pistol that is equipped with a standard short guide rod. Rather than bore you with my explanation, I am simply going to refer you to the Ruger website, where you can find videos for disassembly, cleaning, and assembly. I have provided links to such in the description section that you can watch now and then come back, or watch later at your convenience. With that out of the way, let's get to a brief range session and my synopsis of it. In most cases, I do not spend any exorbitant amount of time shooting prior to filming the shooting session. In fact, unless I have shot the firearm on a previous occasion or two, firearms are shot for the first time, and what you witness is my first time with the firearm under review. Sometimes the firearm and I work together wonderfully the first time out. Other times it might take a bit until we understand each other. Regardless, my proficiency with a firearm is not a reflection of the firearm itself. It is simply how well we communicated during the session. Your results with the same firearm may be better than mine, and my hat's off to you for it. With that said, let's get to today's session. First of all, the Ruger SR1911 Lightweight is a full-size handful of fighting handgun, just lighter in weight than the standard SR1911, and that may make some folks happy, sad, glad, or mad, depending on how things are looked upon. The 1911, in my humble opinion, is not for beginners to the art and science of shooting, but many a neophyte got their teeth on a 1911 in the early days when the M1911 or M1911A1 was the principal fighting handgun, at least up to 1985, when the Beretta M9 was accepted. With shaky hands and loose-fitting 1911s, troopers, both military and law enforcement, took part in the basic training aspects of shooting the 1911, after which they either grew to love it or hate it. For me, the experience led me to carry one version or another for most of my adult life. For some, the experience of firing a 1911 for the first time scared them off it, and I must thank a couple of them for selling theirs so that I could have them, and still have them. With some experience with a 1911 behind me, let's see how this first day with the Ruger SR1911 Lightweight works out. first shooting session with the Ruger Lightweight was insightful, so let me get to a range day synopsis. With regard to ease of target acquisition, the 3-dot sighting system is more than adequate for duty use, although not adjustable for elevation. I did add a dab of fluorescent green to the front sight, just for some contrast. Both front and rear sights are replaceable, so you can swap them out with your favorite sight set if so desired. The left side only controls are easy to manipulate. The thumb safety snicks easily into both safe and fire modes. Most will find the controls within reach without changing the grip on the pistol. The magazine release button worked well and does take some thumb strength to activate, but there should be no concern about accidentally dumping a magazine during firing. The SR1911 Lightweight is as accurate a 1911 as any in the marketplace. The SR1911 Lightweight is quite capable of placing hits on the target where you want them, if you do your part. Ruger reliability is definitely present with out-of-the-box performance and did not lower my expectations of the pistol. With low density and high strength, resistant to corrosion in seawater, titanium is not as hard as some grades of heat-treated steel. It is, however, much stronger than aluminum. Titanium is 60% denser than aluminum, but more than twice as strong as the most commonly used 6061 T6 aluminum alloy. The titanium insert for the feed ramp of the SR1911 Lightweight not only protects the pistol from gouging by serrated hollow point ammunition, a failure observed with the early Colt Lightweight Commander, but will probably outlast the pistol and its operator. Being of a lighter weight of a standard 1911, felt recoil is a bit stouter, but not in the sense that it cannot be handled. Perceived felt recoil, if I can describe it, would be similar to firing a 10mm 1911, but with a softer push into the hand rather than a quick slap. I don't know if that description helped, but I did my best. Being a full-size 1911, and when taking a high hold on the grip, a good firm grip, and if you ride the thumb safety lever like I do, the Lightweight is pretty easy to get back on target quickly. In my line of thinking, the SR1911 Lightweight would be an excellent carry PDA, personal defense assistant, to rely on during that time of need. And speaking of carry, let me yak at you a bit about that. For me, carrying and concealing a 1911, even a full-size, full-weight one, has not been an issue. The Ruger Lightweight carries well, is lighter than its counterpart, and that makes for a more pleasant carry. For IWB behind the hip carry, my Felco A112 Hawk holster performs its duties well, while a Kraft CH4015 Talon holster takes care of OWB cross-draw carry, concealed or not. The Felco rotor holster shoulder system takes care of shoulder carry needs for cool to cold weather, and which dictates an extra layer or two of clothing. There are many fine choices for 1911 holsters. These are just my preferred holsters, and your needs may differ from mine, and that's just fine. Now, let me close this review out with my final thoughts regarding the Ruger SR1911 Lightweight. Before you get started by saying that there are several lightweight 1911 base pistols by Kimber, like the Kimber Custom Lightweight Nightstar, Custom Lightweight Shadow Ghost, and Stainless Lightweight Arctic, let me say that I do know about them, and do own a Stainless Lightweight Arctic in 9mm. They are all fine 1911 base pistols, and comparable in price with the Ruger Lightweight. I just happen to like the Ruger SR1911 line more than the Kimbers, and I have found Rugers to be reliable out of the box over some of the Kimber pistols that I have had the pleasure of breaking in for about 500 rounds before I gained full confidence in them. The Ruger SR1911 Lightweight should satisfy all requirements by those who favor the 1911 platform. If the 45 ACP version is not favorable, the Lightweight is also offered in 9mm with a 9+1 capacity, the model 6794. This Lightweight will serve my needs well and will eventually become part of the carry rotation. Reliability is one of the top traits that I look for in a pistol, and Ruger has not let me down in that department. With that said, I come to the end of this review. I hope that you found it informative, and will return to the channel for my other reviews. Until we meet again, take care, stay vigilant, stay armed, and stay safe out there.